I wanted to talk about question 10 here on this practice test so that you guys have a chance to see this instruction before Friday in the event that maybe we're not here on Thursday. So just kind of walk through this with you. I guess the one thing that is the biggest issue here is what this means and what that means. Basically what we're doing here is in navigation, we're still talking about angles, but the angles don't always start at like initial position like we've been dealing with trigonometry. So navigation uses a little bit different convention than what the rest of trig uses. So what we do is we put north, south, west, and east. When we say north 60 degrees east, this idea means that you are first traveling north, but then you're going to deviate 60 degrees towards the east. Okay, so that degree right there would be that heading, if I was traveling along that ray, would be at north 60 degrees to the east. So the idea here is that this first boat, we'll do this first boat in red. If it was just traveling north, it would just say traveling north, but now it's saying 60 degrees towards the east. So we're going to do something like this and make it a little bit more realistic. Be more like that. Okay, so this angle here is the 60 degrees. Okay, so that's boat one. The second boat is doing something similar, but it's going south 50 degrees towards the east. So we're going south, but then we're going to deviate 50 degrees towards the east. So maybe that there. So that would be 50 degrees. Okay. So that's what they're talking about here. Now, what they want to know is after 3.5 hours, how far apart are they? So eventually, this boat here is going to come to a rest. The boat is going to come to a rest there at 3.5 hours. They want to know how far apart are they. Okay. If we pull this apart and just kind of remove it from the coordinate plane, we kind of have this triangle here where we're trying to find that distance. Okay, so that's our unknown. So that means everything else we should kind of really know. And what we're going to figure out here is because of the quadrants being created by north, south, east, and west, those are perpendicular lines, this angle right here has to be 30 degrees. And then for the same logic, that one there has to be 40 degrees. So together, that angle is 70 degrees. 70 degrees. Okay. Now we need to find out, well, how far did this boat travel? How far did this red boat travel? And remember, distance is equal to rate times time. And in this case, the rate was 40 miles per hour, and the time was 3.5 hours. So if we multiply that stuff out, we should get 140 miles. Same thing here, distance is equal to rate times time. So the second boat was traveling at a rate of 36 miles per hour for 3.5 hours. How long is that distance then? Should be 126. Okay, so when we look at this, if that's 140 miles, that's 126 miles. This is side angle side. So what we're looking for then is that x squared should equal, that'll be the cosine of 70. So these two things are opposite. X and 70 are opposite. So then we'll fill in 140 squared plus 126 squared minus 2 times 140 times 126. Okay. From that stage on, I'll let you go ahead and finish that. You can look at the practice test and see what that final answer is. But that I just wanted you guys to see that from this description, we can get this triangle, and from a little bit of geometry, knowing a little bit of navigation, we can get that angle there of 70 degrees.